Hello, everyone. I know this PowerPoint probably looks very familiar to you. We went over it a few weeks ago when we introduced plants to you guys. But since you have a test tomorrow, we're going to go ahead and go over it one more time so you can go back and review it as many times as you need to, and you will be fully prepared for your test tomorrow. There's no need to stress. So let's get started. So today we are going to discuss the 5 main things plants need to grow and the structures and functions of plants. So I want you to think back a couple weeks ago when we talked about the 5 main things plants need to grow and just see if you can remember them. Just challenge yourself. All right, let's see as we go through the PowerPoint if you remember the 5 main things. So the very first thing plants need to grow is sunlight. Plants get energy from the sun. Chlorophyll in the leaves trap the sun's energy. All plants use the sun to make their own food in a process called photosynthesis. So photosynthesis cannot happen unless the plant gets sunlight. So that's why we always either put the plants by the windowsill or we put them outside. It's very important. They can't make their own food without the energy from the sun. And plants also need water, just like us. Water helps carry nutrients from the soil into the plant's roots. Plants love rain. So the plants get their water from the rain or by watering our plants with a watering can or with a hose. And also remember that water travels through the plant by the stem. So as it goes from the soil into the roots, it does do that, but it also then goes from the bottom of the plant through the stem like a straw and goes into the other parts of the plant. Another very essential thing for plants. So let's think about this. Why will a plant wilt and die without water? Because it can't get the nutrients that it needs. That's also why when you water a plant, you don't just water it from the very top. You don't water the leaves necessarily. The roots are what needs to be watered. So you can pour it into the roots and you can watch the roots just absorb the water and travel the nutrients around. So the plant with water looks so much more happier. It's standing straight up, it's not wilting because it's able to get all the nutrients it needs. Whereas the plants without the water, they aren't able to get the nutrients. They're very sad. The water's not traveling through the stems, so they're not able to stay up. That's why they're all wilted over and sad. Plants also need air. Plants need gases from the air to breathe and to make food. During photosynthesis, plants absorb carbon dioxide from the air surrounding them. Plants then give out oxygen. Remember we talked about that in our photosynthesis review. We talked about how plants give out oxygen and we give out carbon dioxide, so we help each other. We go hand in hand. We help out the plants and the plants help out us. Thank you, plants. And plants need space. All plants like to have room to grow. The above ground portions of the plant need space so leaves can expand and carry out the job of making food. Plants growing in small spaces will have crowded roots, which will result in small amounts of growth. So you can't really grow your plants close together, or else they won't be able to grow as big as they want to because they'll get all crowded and they'll start growing into the other plants. So just think about small spaces equals crowded roots equals small amounts of growth, which is not what you want. You want your plants to grow as much as they can and be as big as they can. And lastly, plants need nutrients. Most plants use soil to get water, nutrients, and minerals. Nutrients in the soil help plants grow strong. Soil is a very important part of a plant or a very important need because that's where the plant gets its nutrients. Awesome job, guys. So now we're going to go into the structures of a plant. this is probably going to be review for you guys, but we are going to go ahead and review it so you will be prepared for your test. So the very first structure we're going to talk about are roots. Remember, roots anchor the plant into the soil. An anchor means to keep in place. Think of it like a boat in the river. In order to keep it in place, you have to put your anchor down, or else the boat is just going to start floating away and you won't be able to have your boat. So roots keep the plant in place, keeps it from flying away in the wind, keeps it from moving when it rains, all that stuff. So roots keep the plant in the soil, in the ground. And that's why it's so hard for plants to, that's why it's so hard for plants to get pulled out of the ground, because they're anchored into place by the roots. That's why you kind of have to put in a lot of effort to get the plant out. Next is the stem. Stems provide support for the plant. Stems allow water and nutrients to travel through the plant like a straw. And an easy way to remember that is stem starts with ST, and so does straw. Straw starts with ST. So stem, straw. So that's how the water and nutrients travel through the plant. All right, the next structure are leaves. Leaves take in the gases from the air. Leaves use sunlight to turn the gases and water into food for the plant. So this is the main structure for photosynthesis. Most of the, well, actually all of the photosynthesis process happens in the leaves. All right, the next structure is flowers. Flowers allow some plants to reproduce or to make new plants. Flowers have petals and are usually very colorful. So for the flowers, think about bees and how bees love flowers and pollen. So they go into the flower, they get the seeds, they move it to a new place, and they can drop off the pollen or the seeds and create a new plant. So that's how flowers reproduce. All right, so let's go over this quick review. It says the picture below shows the parts of a flowering plant. What is a function of the part of the plant to which the arrow is pointing? So right up here, where we just talked about it. So what is this function? Is it to transport water to the leaves, to provide support for the plant, to help the plant to reproduce, or to make food for the plant? Go ahead and put up your fingers for 1, 2, 3, or 4. All right, let's see. The answer is C. Remember, this structure is the flower. So the flower helps the plant to reproduce. Awesome job. Let's go to the next one. All right, which of the following most closely resembles the stem of a plant in function? A mop, a pencil, a straw, or a tea bag? Which one of these resembles the stem? All right, the straw. Remember, stem starts with ST and straw starts with ST. Awesome job. All right, that is the end of our review for the structures and needs of a plant. You can go over and watch this as many times as you want so that you will be ready for your tests tomorrow. And if you have any questions at all or need some more explanation on something, just ask me. That's what I'm here for, okay? All right, guys. Bye.